I was wrong in doing what I did.
No, no, no! Are you listening?
Sean here, and I wanted to discuss the latest Casey call, and I think I'm going to say a few things that people don't agree with. And that's alright, because after my cognitive bias video last night, false consensus effect, I think we can expect that. The embarrassingly large number of women I've been with, and I've explained that before, my location, situations, I've been through a lot of one-night stands, as Lauren would say, only I've really had them because of tourists and things like that. But I've had some short relationships because of deployments when I was in the Marine Corps, where I worked, short relationships because it was in Portland, Oregon, and man, that's a party town, plus close to some colleges. We didn't have all of this text message. We had pagers. And embarrassingly, when I was with somebody and I wanted a booty call, you say you call me on my cell phone, I would text these numbers. 2 for 69. I know you all get that. 2 for 69. And they would usually respond with 911 if that was yes, or 111 if I can't right now. What a fucking weirdo. I know. See, the best part about Lauren's childhood and through his high school years, when he was getting in trouble for stalking women, young women, I should say, in Lauren's eyes they were women, and usually when we talk about stalking, it is with women when it comes to Lauren. I feel lucky that they didn't have text messaging and all these other apps back then. Tell me you cannot see this scenario. Lauren's at school. There's a girl he likes. He walks up to his friend Tommy and he says, "Hey Tommy, yeah, you know Jane, she's in my math class." Now Lauren isn't that smart. I'm just hypothetically speaking. I forgot what the assignment was. Do you have her number by any chance? And back then, you know, in high school, you wouldn't think too much of it. I mean, some of you would. For the most part, if you knew the person asking you and you weren't dating or romantically interested in the girl, you might say, "Here you go, Lauren. Here's her number. Just let her know I gave it to you, but only use it for that." Lauren would text. She'd ask, "Who is this?" "This is Lauren. I'm in your math class." Or, most likely, "I know that you're in Miss Johnson's math class," because Lauren wouldn't have been in the class. It would have been a lie. He would have texted her. She likely would have blocked him. And after she blocked him, she would have called whoever, Tommy, or texted Tommy, "What the hell are you doing giving this guy my number?" Of course, Lauren would get mad that she blocked him. And if they had this technology, they would have also had Facebook. Because even when Lauren was trying to bang a kid, they had technology he could get in touch with her. Multiple ways. MySpace and Yahoo Chat. I remember being in Yahoo Chat. Of course, I was also living with a woman at the time. But I wasn't out like trying to date people and sext people and everything else. And I sure as shit didn't do it to someone, or wouldn't do it to someone that is with someone else. Dick move, man. But that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is Lauren's ability to, of course, be enraged, reach out to this girl through multiple sources. Ask her, "Why did you block me?" Boom! Gets blocked on that one. Before she can block him on anything else. "Hey, why'd you block me on Facebook?" "Listen, I'm just trying to ask you a question." Keeps blocking him. What do you think is going to happen the next day when he goes to school? What would have happened? Rage. Or, knowing Lauren, "Why did you block me? I was only wanting to ask a few questions." That's probably the voice, because I can't stand it when he does to Casey. "Hi. Why didn't you answer my question?" Laughing with that smoker's laugh at her dodging these sick questions he has, or irrelevant questions, or probing questions, or things that are none of his fucking business. He would find a way. Could be notes in the locker. Could be somebody else texting him, or texting her for him, or him using somebody else's phone, texting her and causing that person to get blocked. I don't think he would stop, and he didn't stop when he was in high school. He never stopped. until he was forced to stop. And if anyone speaks to anyone else that knew him, you're going to get the same story or stories. But I just want to say to Lauren, should you ever listen to this, at no time should you ever text a woman and not pick up on the fact that she's not reciprocating any of your disgusting bullshit. Oh, bullshit. You're so dumb and desperate that you can't pick up on the fact that the woman is not sexing you back. You probably shouldn't flirt with the woman if it's not coming back at you, because what that's called, Lauren, is harassment. Sexual harassment. Every one of the viewers on Blue Boy's video instantly picked up on the fact that this would be considered sexual harassment. Now, sexual harassment really wasn't a thing. It was just harassment back in Lauren's school days. So they would say he was harassing people. Now, my son at school, and oh my God, my son's the kid you dare to do stuff. So what Lauren would do is on his own. He wouldn't have been dared to it. My son ended up doing something that got him in the office. I'm not talking about anything bad. I think it was like taking a picture. He was dared to take a picture of this girl. A picture. A picture. Of course, he wasn't supposed to have his phone in class, and he was in the front office for sexual harassment. My 11-year-old son. Things are crazy today. And I'm not complaining about what happened to my son, because we had a long discussion about respecting women. But Lauren, if he had a camera, what about all the creep shots he'd be taking? Lauren, what are you doing? Maybe hiding in the girls' locker room. Because if he gave him access, I don't use pictures of women in my head, or I use my own pictures of women in his head. You mean girls, Lauren. You use pictures of little girls. Maybe sneaking into the girls' locker room and trying to get pictures. If Lauren didn't get in trouble the first time for sexual harassment, he's going to keep doing it. He'll definitely keep doing it because it takes real punishment. It takes Lauren being at the extreme end of whatever he's doing, about to get in serious trouble. Then the waterworks turn on. Then his mom gets involved. Then, well, he can see the counselor. Another true story. And I think this will enlighten you. A professional, an officer. This is really bizarre. He thought he was flirting with another girl, another woman. This is a grown man. He was married, thought he was flirting with a woman. He also thought because he was an officer, he was untouchable. And he ended up being pretty much untouchable. He was flirting. She was responding, but not in a sexual way. It was awkward. She was enlisted. So he gets into a broom closet or something. He tells her, meet me in the broom closet, I got to tell you something. She comes in. He lifts up the folds of his top, pulls them back, flashes, and goes, look! And of course his pants are down enough to where his member is exposed. Before this woman can even get to report him or do anything, he's raced out to HR and said, I need therapy. I need therapy. And if you do that, at least what I understood, because it wasn't in the Marine Corps, if you do that, but I did know the two people, if you do that, you can beat the sexual harassment charge because you're already going and seeking help and you're admitting you have a problem. And of course, these programs are designed for people proactively to admit that they have a problem so they can get ahead of it. Now, they weren't ahead of it, but because of this, he got in zero trouble. Do I think Lauren would find a loophole? Yes. Not because he researched it or looked it up. I think just like when he was trying to diddle Kayla, he was talking to his friends, maybe hypothetically speaking, and they were telling him the rules and the tricks of the trade and all the tips and what you can get in trouble with and how to beat getting in trouble and things like that. You can't get in trouble with this. Well, you shouldn't get in trouble for sexting kids if you're just talking to them. And I'm sure that's what he was told. Come on, be real. Lauren didn't look that up on his own. And he may have only looked it up after he got busted. And someone had told him, look, man, you weren't even doing anything, man. This is nothing but a thought crime, man. I'm not the only one that said this. In the call, he had been still flirting with Jamie, and he was trying to, I promise you, it'll never happen again. I'll never do that again. And then the very next day, I'm sure he was sending more text messages, if not that night. Because he can always go back to, it's hard. I'm trying to quit. Again, Lauren, you either quit sexting a woman, you quit flirting. Well, as Blue Boy said, it's not flirting if she's not responding back. But you quit doing it. You just stop. There is no trying. It's not hard to quit. It's not. You're the one reaching out, Lauren. You're desperate. And you like the thought of having Casey to text and also having Jamie for when Casey's not available. This is the only time in your pathetic life, well, the Catfish saga, that you've ever had a woman to talk to, or what you consider talking to, over the phone, where you had the possibility of talking to another woman so they could feed your ego, so you could feel like you were wanted. But the reality is, Lauren, what you were doing was cheating on. You weren't even with Casey, and your main concern during what was supposed to be a tornado outbreak or whatever was for her to leave, Jamie to leave the bar she was at. She was telling you, I'm fine. And you kept responding, you need to get out of there. You need to go home. Get out of that bar, Jamie. Don't be in that bar. Had she been in another building, like child care center, Lauren might have asked subtly, is your boyfriend there? Are there any other guys around? You want to use them to lean on for strength. Make sure they take the brunt of the tornado. He was only concerned that there were other dinks swirling around here. I wonder if that's how he pictures it. Jamie in a bar, recognized by all these men because she's a porn star, and these guys are circling her, like orbiting around her like she's the sun, and they all keep getting closer and closer until she says, I'm a woman, you're all men, you want to have sex with me, so naturally I'm going to have to spread my legs. Jamie, get out of there. There's a hurricane coming. Just get out of there and go home. Get out on the roads during this tornado. Stay outside, the worst place that you can be. Get out of that bar and drive home. Lauren, how far is the bar from her house? Shit, I don't know. Could be 100 miles. Lauren, I don't care. 100 miles or not. She needs to get out of there and go home. I was woken up at 6:45 this morning via a hailstorm. It sounded like rocks hitting the roof, and now I'm driving into work and there's lightning everywhere. Maybe I just jinxed myself by talking about this, but one of the things I just can't fathom is how Lauren is showing a woman, Casey, who he's supposedly interested in, that he's interested in her by flirting with the woman who has a boyfriend that has moved on from him, that was cheating on him and everything else, and he said it's hard to quit. That just shows you how sad his life is. He has nothing going on. Got to move some dirt, go to Mom's, come back, get ready for work tomorrow. Lauren, you're going to Mom's because there's food there, because you can possibly take something from there. You can get something from her. She's been sick, had COVID, pneumonia, whatever he said. So I'm going to go on over there. and I'm going to exhaust this woman with my bow chip. Lauren, I'm really tired. I need you to leave. Mom, I'm staying here. Lauren, I'm exhausted. I need some sleep. Well, Mom, I'm staying here. I care about you. What do you got in the fridge? It also shows, again, how dangerous he is, that a woman has moved on from him, is showing him no real interest, is dating somebody, and he's still calling. Everybody remembers the Ramona saga. Lauren, I'm a catfish. Well, we were together for 9 months. There must have been something there, something that kept you talking to me. Lauren, I thought you said you could go out and get any woman on the planet. Yeah, but I believe in you. I won't be with you. So I think we all see that there are no boundaries for Lauren. No boundaries he won't cross. No boundaries he doesn't respect. And any woman that ever talks to him, she's done. As long as there's a way for him to contact her, he's going to do it. God help her if she blocks him and everything else on every other app, every other thing on social media, but he knows where she works. See Nikki for an example. I mean, that was scary. Paula for an example. Just every other woman he's ever dealt with. And imagine if Jamie was there where he lived and how much he'd be by her house or going by Will's house. He still wants to know what's going on with Will and Maggie Joe, these imaginary people, because he wants to know what Jamie's doing. He still wants to know what she's doing. We talked about this. I said he could not relinquish what he saw as control. He would want to know what she's doing. Well, you know, there's a chance we might get together back down the road. I don't want you to blow it. I truthfully believe that's how he thinks. To any woman in Cornville, Maine, out of the 1,100 people, I believe it is, if you're listening to our videos, everyone in the Lauren community, pay attention. This guy, you talk to him, you have to make it clear, I do not want to hear from you again, Lauren. It's over. I don't want to hear from you. We're never going to be together. You have to be firm. You have to be direct. You're going to want to change your number, disable your social media accounts for a while, as long as it takes, because I promise you, when you get back on, if you're on too early, the messages are going to start to come, and you're going to get this from this guy. He's going to say, well, you know, I thought, you know, let you have some time away from us to think about it. And I think you've come to the same conclusion I have, that we weren't working out, but, you know, now we have a chance to rectify it. We can get back together. You may have to create new ones altogether. And unfortunately, because there are so few people where you live, you may want to get the hell out of there. Because this guy's a creep, he's a stalker, he's a psycho. Even if you don't have a relationship OCD, I urge you, if you're listening to this, to go look it up. Because it's real. He's obsessive and possessive. Run for the hills. And God bless Blue Boy for putting this little piece of shit in his place when it counts. I love you guys. I'm driving into the storm. I'll see you in the next one.
Hang on, I can't even catch my breath. Hang on.